Good morning once again. It's been a long weekend. Went home for my sister's graduation. Now we're back. But while I was gone, like yesterday morning, I think. I'll sum it up for you guys who aren't on Twitter and who don't do Twitch stuff. A very large Twitch partner who's had a previous set of well-known mistakes and issues made another very large misstep. And this misstep included racism and harassment, and they played it off as if it was a joke or it was okay, and then apparently made some half-assed apology on stream. Now, I'm going to preface this real quick for everybody who's listening. First of all, I'm probably going to get a little bit vulgar because this frustrates the bejesus out of me. So it's going to get a little bit verbal. And secondly, I'm going to do my best to not name names, because I've known this person for almost a year now, and I've subbed to them for a while, and had forgiven them for previous mistakes and infractions, I guess you would say, because I'd spoken to them on personal time, and I'm a very forgiving person. I'll give you chances, and I especially give you chances if there's stuff that happened. Stuff happened based on technicalities. Anyway, this is not technicalities. So anyway, I'm going to jump right into it once again. If you have a problem with a little bit of language, you may want to take a step back and come listen to this when you're ready to hear a little bit, because I'm not happy at all. They were a pseudo mentor. They were somebody I looked up to. I came on Twitch, and they were one of the few people who genuinely would sit up and give advice, etc., to younger, smaller streamers like myself. So to say I was disappointed is a little bit of an understatement, because I mean, where do I even freaking start? Like, good Lord, bless, like, I'm gonna requote Dr. Lupo from last night, and this is not to fully agree in actuality with his statement, because I believe there's a little more grace in a lot of these issues, especially if you can find that path of redemption and take it, even if it's a really long road, even if you're willing, like, you have to be willing to sacrifice everything to go down a road of redemption if you've done something as despicable as these two things, right? And this is, like I said, this is gonna get a little bit vulgar here. If you've ever done anything as a mature adult with an underage child, fuck you forever. And then if you compound that and put on top of that racism and harassment, especially together, purposefully, for the intent, quote unquote, intent of a social experiment, fuck you forever again. And at this point, that's where I'm at. What the sayings, fool me once, shame on me. I mean, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. And I don't particularly think I was fooled the last time, but this time, no, I'm not even gonna take a chance. It's not worth it. It's not worth keeping you in my company, because there's people I associate myself with a certain kind of people on purpose. I associate myself with people who are good and have good intentions and will take purposeful steps to walk away from both of those issues. The first one's like a fucking no-brainer, right? Like the second one, like that. If you have any lingering systematic issues that allow you to be racist, fix them. Like we're advanced enough as a society to say fuck you to racism, and we're advanced enough as a society to get back to where we respect every person based on the content of their character and not the color of their skin. And of course, I'm quoting that from somewhere. I don't remember where at the moment. It's not as if like it's easy for somebody to not be publicly racist. Even for the sake of either content creation or anything else. Like, it's easy for that. And like, you can have preference, right? Like that's different. But racism is different. Right? Racism doesn't even touch preference. Racism breaks that line and runs it over purposefully. It's not even like it's an accidental, oh, I found this line and I'm going to run over it. It's I see that line and I'm going to purposely take my truck, run over it, drop a couple landmines on it, and then nuke it and try to erase it out of existence because I don't like the person on the other side of it. Or I don't like what that person represents or what their skin color is or like how long is it going to take us? How long to respect the basic humanity of people? Now, granted, we live in America. So, I'm a white male, upper middle class, going to college in America. I hit the lottery of life, but that doesn't mean I get to do wrong and disrespect people and get away with it. And if I see it, it's sure as hell not flying by me. Sometimes my best thing to do is keep my mouth shut, stop supporting you privately and publicly, and somebody will get the message, because I don't like adding fire to witch hunts. Like I don't like being part of public character assassinations, even if it's well deserved, and maybe that needs to change. Maybe if the situation's bad enough, I need to be able to jump on top of it and say, no, I'm not standing for this, like publicly. But I don't like standing in the middle of what is essentially a mob and being able to say or do whatever the fuck I want, because that's not good. It's not good for me. It's not good for humanity. It's not good for my family. It's not good for the person involved. It's not good for the community involved trying to do the right thing, even if trying to actually do the right thing, if that makes sense. Because the right thing is bring justice and let justice be served. The problem is when you get into a mob, justice stops being served and everybody starts going after people with whatever intentions and whatever smaller ideas they have. Like, God, man, I haven't even gotten to the other bullet points that I wanted to get to, so this is probably gonna be a little bit longer. He was a mentor and like sort of a friend, because it in behind closed doors, he cared, and I looked up to him, and now it's, it's the sound of walking away, as Elenium would put it. Like, oh, it's this like small realization of, oh, hold on, I gotta find where I wrote this the other day, because I was texting, my friend texted me about it, and we were talking back and forth, because we'd both, defended him and talked to people about it, and really, okay, here we go. But simply put, there are mistakes, and then there are flaws in character that need to be addressed. And if those flaws are big enough to cause continual mistakes and big issues, and it really doesn't attempt to seem like you're attempting to fix them, either purposefully or by omission, I refuse to associate with you, especially if you make bullshit excuses about your behavior. The other statement that says, I have my lines that I won't cross, and if other people cross those lines, I don't go back, because unless you have a very, very large road of and to redemption, I literally refuse to associate you, because I won't. Bad company corrupts good morals. And I might love you to death, but I refuse to put my company, the rest of my company, and my actual set of morals at jeopardy because you want to be you, quote unquote, or like you want to like be yourself, or whatever the fuck that means. Like, if being yourself means you're racist, abusive, manipulative, sexist, judgmental, stop. Like, for the love of all things that are holy, stop. Figure out where you fucking fix your shit and respect other people, or don't come near me, and don't come near my friends. Like, I have a little sister, I have my brother. Like, I'm not gonna let toxic masculinity fuck with him. Like, I went through enough of it in high school. Like, I refuse to let him have it. I'm not gonna let my sister be treated like trash. My best friend back home is black and gay. Like, so I don't tolerate, like, and it's nice, so I don't, if that makes sense. But I refuse to tolerate racism and homophobia, because they demean humanity and demean people, and you never, ever, ever, ever demean somebody simply based upon their action or their state of being. Period. You can say whatever the hell you want about things being a good idea, but you don't ever demean and judge somebody for their actual state of being. Like, if I keep going, I'm just gonna get angrier today. And I gotta be at the I could talk about my frustration about the situation and all this other shit for forever. We live in America. I said that earlier, in relation to like me being blessed and me having a decent amount of privilege. And if you don't want to call it privilege, you can call it opportunity to play the big game, and other people don't get that. But we're blessed in America to have a vast majority of people who have the opportunity to play the game. I just happen to be born basically playing the game, and not all of humanity is like that. And not all of humanity wants to give people the opportunity to play the game. And that's where racism and all this other shit comes in. If you look up to people and they're racist, judgmental, arrogant, I mean, the arrogant part's kind of a whatever, but if they have character traits that you don't like and they actually affects their character, like the way they act and live, and they're racist and they're judgmental and they're homophobic or whatever, figure out if they're really something you want to embody and consider, at least subconsciously, a hero. Because a hero is a hero for everybody, not just a group. You know, we're not Nazis. You know, like we don't sit there and play, oh, the Aryan race are the heroes of humanity and we're the most advanced and we're the best for everything. Like, that's not how it works. We've been here for thousands of years, you know, and we ended widespread slavery, or at least publicly widespread and accepted slavery, you know, nearly 150, 200 years ago. Why the fuck are we trying to intellectually and socially put people back in that position again? It sickens me. Like, we're better than that. We are better than that. The people we look up to should be better than that. And if they're not, find better people to look up to. That's going to be it for today. Have another one up tomorrow morning. Tomorrow afternoon, probably around 2 or 3 o'clock. Thanks for listening. I'm going to do a small little plug because I've never done it before. I love Mondays and Twitch, streaming every so often. Twitch.tv/ILOVEMUNDAYS. On social, I_love_MUNDAYS. All that other stuff. That on Instagram too. So, and my Snapchat is just at I Live Mondays. So, like, if you want to see random adventures from myself, I'm just frustrated. So you may hear more about this tomorrow. I don't know, but I can't deal with people like that anymore, and I refuse to not only put my reputation at stake. I refuse to, like, as a believer, like as a Christian, like, if you don't know that about me, now you know. As a believer, I refuse to put that in a place where it's representative of Christ, because that's not who he was and not who he is. And if you're going to attempt to put that on my Savior, like, fuck you, because that's not who he was and not who he is. And it's literally it's patently absurd. So, you know. Good night, guys. Good night. Good afternoon. Whatever time it is, whatever time you listen to this. Thank you for listening. I appreciate you. Sorry today was such a dark episode and just frustrating. So we'll talk later. Bye.